This message is proudly sponsored by H.A. Hakimi. The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples (UNDRIP) was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on Thursday, 13 September 2007, by a majority of 144 states in favor and 4 voted against. More than 10 years have passed since the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples was adopted by the General Assembly. Since then, the 4 countries voting against have reversed their position and now support the declaration. Today the declaration is the most comprehensive international instrument on the rights of indigenous peoples. It establishes our universal framework of minimum standards for the survival, dignity and well-being of the indigenous peoples of the world, and it elaborates on existing human rights standards and fundamental freedoms as they apply to the specific situation of indigenous peoples. The Declaration addresses both individual and collective rights, cultural rights and identity, rights to education, health, employment, language, and others. The text says indigenous peoples have the right to fully enjoy as a collective or as individuals all human rights and fundamental freedoms as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the rest of international human rights law. Indigenous peoples and individuals are free and equal to all other peoples and individuals, and have the right to be free from any kind of discrimination in the exercise of their rights, in particular that based on their indigenous origin or identity. Indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination. By that right they can freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. They have the right to maintain and strengthen their distinct political, legal, economic, social, and cultural institutions, while retaining their rights to participate fully, if they choose to, in the political, economic, social, and cultural life of the state. This message is proudly sponsored by H.A. Hakimi.